Howdy everybody, Steve here, KM9G. Today we're going to talk about what is this Winlink thing. Because it's a little bit more important than just, it's email over radio. But it's also just email over radio. So let's get into it and figure it out together. Oh, and be sure you're subscribed to the channel because I'm going to do this what is Winlink, and then I'm going to do the how to make a Winlink server, and then I'm going to do the how to connect to Winlink on a bunch of different radios coming up. So that's going to be a thing, a running gag here. And if you are already on Winlink, send me an email to KM9G. And if you're not on Winlink, send me an email to km9g@winlink.org. Either one of those will make its way to my inbox, sometimes even over ham radio RF, and also even over 2-meter RF. So you technicians, you can do this stuff too. But the one thing that sets Winlink email apart is that it's done over RF, that it's done over ham radio, that it's done without any infrastructure on your side of the equation. And we'll get into that in a little bit of detail a little bit later on in the video. But what makes it important is it is useful for emergency preparedness or for quote unquote off-grid communications. Because wouldn't communicating over ham radio still require you to be on some kind of grid? Anyway, that, in a nutshell, is what it is. But let's get into the details. You're going to need to have some kind of Winlink application installed on your computer in order to make this thing work. You can't just go to a web browser. Well, you kind of can, but you kind of can't. You still need to have software that runs the web browser, which is in your control as a ham radio operator. I guess it's in your control even if you're not a ham radio operator, if you just wanted to do it for your own fun. But you're going to need to have some type of client, and there are quite a few different kinds of clients for Winlink. I will leave a link to this website in the description down below, but this is winlink.org, and it is their table of features of all the different programs that they have. And there is Outpost, Airmail, Wode, or Winlink on Android, Pat. Pat's the multi-platform one. We're going to do a lot of Pat stuff. We're also going to do some Wode stuff and probably some Radio Mail stuff, because Radio Mail is the one that works on iOS. So your Apple Silicon MacBooks and Power Macs, your iPad tablets, and your iPhone phones will all run Radio Mail. And then there is PackLink for Unix, and there is PackLink, and there is Winlink Express, which is a Windows-only version of the program. And on this website, there are a humongous amount of features that are listed for each of the different programs, including all of the different modes that they support. So there's Telnet, which requires no radio whatsoever. That's just straight over the internet. There's AX25 Packet, which is a way of connecting computers together over ham radio that predates Ethernet/internet type stuff. And then there's Pactor 1 through 3, Pactor 4, and those are proprietary protocols. You can find those in some of the older Packrat TNCs and some other devices out there. There is RDOP, VARA HF, and VARA FM. Some of these require licenses. Some of these require no license whatsoever. Some of these are really easy to do with some really simple hardware. And some of these are a little more complex and offer a lot more features to go along with their complexity. And of course, the speed ranges of these are off the charts in every direction, from as slow as 1200 BPS, actually probably even slower than that, down to like 300 BPS over HF. Hopefully that will change since the FCC's guidelines have now allowed us to use full bandwidth and higher speeds. But we'll figure that out as time comes. And then some of these, like the one that runs over Telnet with no radio involved, runs at whatever your internet speed is in the first place. In your regular email type system, you need to use your computer to connect to the internet somehow, whether it is over a modem type connection via landline, so fiber Ethernet, like fiber to the home, or cable internet, or even dial-up and DSL type stuff, or even over Starlink, which is going to be from your yard to the satellites in low Earth orbit and then back down to your yard via radio, which is actually a pretty cool technology how Starlink works. But that's not the point of this video. This is about Winlink, not Starlink. And then from there, once it gets to the internet, there is a little tiny bit of magic involved on the back end for regular email. That magic is all the different protocols that go into place, and store and forward, and how mail gets from you to somebody else, and whose computer it's on, and who maintains and who runs that. So it could be as easy as Gmail, or it could be your corporate email server running Google Apps for Business, which is also Gmail, or any number of other services, including like Exchange Server or something along those lines, which would be an in-house email server. So this is kind of what the path looks like. It goes from your computer to whatever your modem device happens to be, through some magical back layer, which is going to be your Starlink transport, your fiber, your dial-up, smoke signals, whatever, to somebody else's router who's connected to that magic somehow on their own way to their computer. And that's how they get the email from you, or they send an email to you. Now let's talk about the radio stuff. And you can do this on just about any different kind of radio. This will work on a 2-meter HT as long as you have the right sound card interface. And I'll show you that in future videos. It'll work on the ICOM 705 that I've got pictured here, and I'll show you that in future videos. Or it'll work on any of your HF radios, and I'll show you that in future videos on a couple of different radios as I get them through the studio here. There is a way that you can do Winlink peer-to-peer, but that is a little more difficult and a lot more advanced as a result of the difficulty factor. But it is possible to do that. And it's possible to send messages back and forth without having them be email. And it's probably a lot easier just to send a straight keyboard-to-keyboard chat message back and forth than it is to send an email over peer-to-peer ham radio. So we're not going to get into that too much. We might do it as a fun exercise in futility. 2 words to start with FU. I can think of never mind. But what we will typically do is use a Winlink RMS gateway. The RMS gateway is basically somebody else's radio. So if I wanted to send email from myself, where I'm currently in Arizona, to my friend Jason, who is in Tennessee, both of us would need to connect to some middle-spaced email gateway server, email RMS server. Now, the cool part about the way this works is it's connected to the internet. The server is, the mail server, the Winlink server is connected to the internet. So I can connect to a local server here in Arizona over 2 meters, line of sight, and Jason can connect to an HF server from Tennessee, and his server that he's connecting to might be in New York, but because they're backhauled connected to each other via the internet, the message that I send to my local server gets sent to his local server, and then he's able to download it. So there's actually quite a bit of radio traffic going on in between, as well as quite a bit of internet traffic going on in the typical Winlink scenario. In the event of a grid down type situation, Winlink might actually go away because of that internet requirement. The gateway servers need to be connected to the internet, and if they're not, they just reject your connection because they have no way of getting the mail from point A to point B. However, because they're connected to the internet, they also can send email to regular old-fashioned terrestrial email users. So I can send an email from KM9G via RF to the Winlink gateway. The Winlink gateway will then forward it over to my Gmail account. And then from my Gmail account, I can reply, which will go back to the Winlink gateway, be converted over to RF to send to KM9G, and it will show up on my radio station's email computer. It's all pretty neat stuff. This is kind of the same way that it happens on the internet as well. Your computer connects to the internet through that magic stuff that we talked about before, and it reaches your mail server. Your mail server then transfers that message over to the other mail server on the internet, your friend's mail server, and then that person can download their mail from their mail server. Pretty cool stuff. You can kind of see some similarities in the architecture, in the infrastructure, and how the stuff is set up. And all we're really replacing is the RF component for the wired component, or the Starlink component, if that's your jam. Or if you're one of those cities that has, Wi-Fi, or if you're at a Starbucks or something along those lines. But I think you're picking up what I'm putting down here. At least I hope you are. How does this help us as emergency communications people, emergency preparedness people, preppers, if you will? In the event that the internet goes down, it's probably not going to go down for the entire United States. And if it does go down for the entire United States, it's either going to come back up really quickly, or we have a lot bigger things to worry about than sending email. So a very recent example would be what happened to our friends in North Carolina during the recent hurricane that wiped out just about their entire way of life. And pretty devastating stuff, but there were hams that rallied to the cause and helped out. So on the ground in North Carolina, I can make a communication from my radio over HF out of North Carolina, out of the impact zone, out of the crater, if you will, into any other part of the country. So for example, I could make a connection from North Carolina via ham radio to Idaho, and that's the mail server, the RMS gateway, the Winlink mail server that receives that email from me in the danger zone. Then that mail server can relay it to the internet to, my mother, my sister, my brother, my children, my grandchildren. Whoever wants to know that I'm still alive can get a real quick email message from me that says, hey, storm passed, house is wiped out, nobody's hurt. I'll get you future messages when we have them, but for now there's no way in and out of the area, so hang tight. And you'll get that message in New Mexico, where you're living, via Idaho from the ground zero danger zone in North Carolina. So that's pretty cool how that can all help us out. So hopefully this has been very useful to you in kind of putting together all of the different pieces that go into play inside of the way Winlink works, or inside the way regular email works, because they're pretty much the same. We're just changing what's called the transport layer. If you still have some questions, leave a comment down below. And if you do have Winlink set up, then send me an email to KM9G and we will play along on RF Winlink together. There's a video right over here I think you'll enjoy next. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.